Today on Forbes, why drug kingpin El Mencho's billion-dollar fortune will likely remain untouched by authorities. On the evening of Saturday, February 21st, Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera was enjoying himself in a luxury cabin nestled in the pine-covered hills of a resort community in Tapalpa, a popular tourism destination in the western state of Jalisco. Early Sunday morning, a squadron of Mexican security forces gunned down the 59-year-old drug lord in a 5-hour firefight. The feds had found Mexico's most wanted man by tracking the movements of the lover whom he had traveled to meet for the weekend. El Mencho leaves behind the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, known as CJNG, one of Mexico's two largest drug trafficking organizations, along with the Sinaloa cartel. That cartel was formerly led by Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who is 68 years old and is serving a life sentence in a U.S. prison. El Mencho, a former Jalisco state policeman who lived and was incarcerated in the U.S. as a young man, founded CJNG in 2009 as an offshoot of the Milenio cartel, following the arrests and deaths of Milenio's leaders and a vicious power struggle. With his combination of organizational efficiency and psychotic ruthlessness, like dumping dozens of tortured bodies in the streets of Veracruz one evening in 2011, El Mencho grew his outfit into a diversified criminal enterprise beyond just drug smuggling, with interests in human trafficking, large-scale extortion, fuel theft, and financial scams. In all likelihood, El Mencho was Mexico's richest kingpin at the time of his death. Mexican officials estimated in 2017 that CJNG Enterprises held roughly $50 billion in assets. In 2019, Kyle Mori, an agent at the Drug Enforcement Agency who investigated him for years, told Univision that he believed the kingpin was worth between $500 million to $1 billion. In the last 7 years, CJNG has grown its share of Mexico's illegal drug trafficking industry amid the continued splintering of the Sinaloa cartel and weakening of regional players, while also pushing into other illicit cash streams. What happens to El Mencho's billion-dollar criminal empire now that he's dead? CJNG's business operations will likely pass into the hands of family members and close associates. Even if there's a power vacuum, the enterprises will continue operating, churning out cash. David Tyree, a 25-year-old veteran of the DEA, says, quote, "It's like if the manager at Target fell ill. Target's not going to stop operating. They're used to it, and there's certainly demand." The fate of El Mencho's personal estate is a trickier question. According to former U.S. agents and prosecutors with experience investigating narcos and seizing their assets, the kingpin likely held a massive investment portfolio, not unlike a legitimate billionaire's, divided between cash-filled bank accounts, upscale cars, luxury properties, private planes, stocks, crypto, and even legitimate businesses set up to help launder money, dispersed across Mexico, the US, and even further afield in Europe and Asia. Tyree adds, quote, "I wish it was as simple as the bad guy with the cool car and the spinning rims, but it's so diversified. He's got investments, he's got hotels, he's got networks with different forms of passive income, whether through rental properties, through exportation and importation of real goods and services from China and even Europe." U.S. and Mexican law enforcement, in collaboration with banks tracking suspicious activity reports, will now be hunting for El Mencho's physical assets, properties, cars, and planes, as well as his drug money laundered through U.S. banks, which the feds have statutory authority to seize. The issue is untangling the money trail, which narcos like to snake through a web of shell companies and transactions. Much of the cartel's financial infrastructure was long associated with Los Queenies, a closely allied network led by El Mencho's in-laws that U.S. authorities have described as CJNG's financial arm, specializing in money laundering and international investment vehicles. For drug kingpins, the richer you get, the less you get to live like a carefree billionaire. Once you can afford the yachts and vacation homes and private jets, you're likely already on the radar of U.S. and Mexican investigators. El Mencho had been on the run in Mexico since 2011, when Mexico's federal prosecutor's office first issued an arrest warrant for him. For full coverage, check out John Hyatt's piece on forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.